himself against FATINA right now.
Yeah, and definitely FATINA, I think, is interesting because his eternal clash is with himself, right?
Absolutely.
He's a very emotional player, and if he feels like things are not going so well, he does end up kind of being very short with himself.
Yep, and I love SHADOWSHADET's room. We got to see it last time
That's
he was
right,
on.
yeah.
Very colorful. And again, to remind you guys, if you give us your Skype information at the beginning of the tournament, we'll get you on there, and you get 1,000 extra vials just for doing so. FATINA looking like he didn't want to show himself today.
Kitten's riding pizza.
On his shirt? Yeah.
Wow.
It's perfect.
Wow.
Two of your favorite things all in one place.
Kittens and pizza. All right, this is a curve.
That's right, and both players playing a version of Vengeance Blood. So this looks like a very aggressive Blood deck from SHADOWSHADET, but it does play a lot of the same options that we see in FATINA's deck and Hungering Horde.
Wow. That came out real quick. Now, I almost wonder if that's going to turn around and hurt FATINA when the Dark Air Jammer comes down, or you know, those turns later on. We'll have to see.
It's very interesting because FATINA chose to run Hungering Horde today instead of Snarling Chains, which is usually the option we see in Vengeance Blood, so he must have a good idea, such as against aggro Forest Craft and things like that, where Hungering Horde just does a whole lot more for you than that one extra damage might do.
Yeah, and we can see Snarling Chains up there. The difference here is that Snarling Chains is single target removal, whereas Hungering Horde works against wider boards.
That's right. And it perfectly executed that time. Getting rid of 2 followers with 1 card feels really good, especially when your opponent's on the play and out-tempoing you.
But now SHADOWSHADET flexing even more of his card advantage of the game from Pure Hearted Singer.
Now, here's the weird thing about this matchup, guys. If you're not familiar with Vengeance Blood versus Vengeance Blood, it might feel like SHADOWSHADET's ahead because he's been dealing damage, been setting the tone of the game. However, all of the damage up until a player gets to 10 is actually something the Vengeance player wants to take. And then they can start executing their game plan. So it really comes down to card advantage and who has better options once that Vengeance mechanic starts kicking in. And FATINA actually has a whole swath of things to do, whereas SHADOWSHADET's kind of low on cards at the moment.
Yeah, he's living off the top. And really, SHADOWSHADET needs to be relying on, okay, what are the things that I'm going to be drawing into that's going to help me here? And left with a Sabror and a Pure Hearted Singer.
I mean, this is a good board. You know what I mean? It's tough to deal with and things like that. But if SHADOWSHADET cannot find a way to get that last big push in, which all he has in hand right now is a Blood Wolf and a Razor Claw, he's not really going to be able to end the game before FATINA's advantage starts kicking over.
Yep. And I think this is an easy choice for FATINA. This is going to equalize the board and leave a 4-3 follower and put FATINA in Vengeance here. And so SHADOWSHADET has to make some very big decisions right now. Got double Spiderweb Imp, and that's going to slow things down quite a bit.
I feel like that was probably the best thing he could have drawn. Like, this is one of the only ways that you can put together a force that allows your other cards to deal damage. Like, this Blood Wolf would have gotten in for a whole lot, but we do see an Angel of the Word on the other side for FATINA or a Scarlet Saboir. But I feel like protecting it behind 2 wards is the best option you could do when you're in a situation like this.
Yes.
Plus, it gets you closer to Vengeance. You're hurting yourself. It's good stuff.
I think that's important. With FATINA going second and being in Vengeance right now, it makes it very dangerous, but needs to find a way to get past these Spiderweb Imps.
Yeah. And I think Scarlet Saboir is the only play here. Oh, okay. He feels differently. I guess there is a way to clear the entire board with the Savage Wolf if this works. This does not heal, though.
Okay, this one's all me.
Yep. And really, I think FATINA is thinking 2 cards left, no evolution orbs. This is my time to kind of make sure that I, again, am the one remaining with the board and then play out from here. The double Razor Claw.
That's so close. So close.
Is 1 damage away, right?
Oh, so close. And this is where it gets tough, because if FATINA actually gets SHADOWSHADET low enough this following turn, he could turn these Razor Claws off.
Yeah, and what's scary is SHADOWSHADET does not want to spend the Razor Claws himself necessarily, because he's going to either go to 11 or 9, and 9 is very realistic to do when you're at 7 play points in Vengeance, and you haven't gotten rid of the Angel of the Word. So I think you almost need to clear the board here.
I really don't like the Razor Claw to face there. Not only does that get him to 11, which is in lethal range to a very specific set of cards, such as, you know, a Razor Claw plus a Dark General from the side of FATINA. So I feel like SHADOWSHADET took a risk he didn't need to that last turn.
Something off the top could win it here.
Oh, wow. Wow. So SHADOWSHADET finding every option he needed to off the top. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Definitely took a risk. I still feel like he took a huge risk the previous turn.
He could have held all his Rage Ray Claws.
He could have.
The top deck still would have won him that game.
Just essentially just giving himself a chance to lose by putting himself to 11 that turn. But in any case, SHADOWSHADET getting the options he needed in time so that FATINA's card advantage did not take over. Good on him. And now he's got his Daria deck to try to win against two different decks. I feel like Daria has a pretty even, if not good, matchup against these decks.
Yeah, I think you have a good point there. One of the things that it was a dangerous situation, and I think SHADOWSHADET was rewarded for not getting rid of the Angel of the Word, despite how risky that is. There were definitely things I think FATINA could have done to make that situation even more dangerous or even close out the game.
Yeah.
So,
just interesting stuff. I mean, that's an aggressive player. You know what I mean? Like, realistically, he did everything the way you need to. You just put everything on the table, and then you just swing for the fences. Put himself into danger one time, but obviously that didn't cost him the game, and then he top decked what he needed. Excellent stuff. FATINA, I feel like, did everything he could. He cleared the board at every chance he got, and did everything he could, but he was just a little behind that game. Yeah, a little too far behind.
We'll see if FATINA can pull it back here. But big win for SHADOWSHADET.
Pulling all three Razor Claws in that matchup specifically is probably the best thing you can do because both players are trying to hurt themselves so fast that it's just so much damage. It's three Razor Claws is almost half of your defense by themselves. You know what I mean? It's real tough.
Especially when you're and playing the Razor Claws. I mean, that damage does add up on yourself, right? So you do kind of want to be in the position that SHADOWSHADET was, kind of outside of Vengeance and quite healthy.
And I like SHADOWSHADET. He's employing my strategy of using Daria cards to wait for maximum boost. So you saw he did not utilize that Angelic Snipe on the first turn so that he could boost the Fate's Hand. He's waiting for more cards to boost to get more advantage out of those spell boosts. And now with the Daria in hand, perfect.
There it is. Yeah,
perfect.
This is going to pay off real well for SHADOWSHADET.
This is another one of those slight things. It's kind of like evoing when you have a ward. Holding those spells to when you can spell boost at max efficiency, even though it might seem like it's slowing you down, really gets that Daria out a lot faster.
All right. Well, the Bramble's down, but this is not super relevant at this point in the game. And it's going to run out before the Daria is down, and then the Oglers and the Blade Mages are going to come out, and that's when you need it.
Yeah, but those Fairy Generators, perfect to go alongside of the card draw that FATINA used. You saw him use there.
There's the Elven Princess Mage. I feel like we haven't seen this card in such a long time.
That's
And he's got the combo of Elven Princess Mage and Fortune Hunter Fina. That is going to be a huge setup. It's a question of if this Daria is going to bowl FATINA over in time, and I think based on the speed and the tempo of this Daria play, it might just be too fast for FATINA.
It's tough. If we record history, I do believe that the player on the draw in this matchup has the biggest advantage, which I want to say FATINA does. He has the bout spell. He has full combo in hand. However, he's not got any damage dealt yet. But he does have an option to play Tia, like we saw last game, if he wants to go defensively instead.
With 3 0 drops going into something like turn 6 or 7, which is realistically where I expect him to be before it becomes you can't wait any longer, right? You have a 3, possibly up to, depending on the spells that you have, I guess you have up to a 6 plus 8 Roach combo.
Yeah, we're still at, if you play 3 spells before the Roaches with an Evo, we're looking at 19 damage. So he still has to get that 1 point of damage in if he wants to win with the combo. And because of how fast SHADOWSHADET is going with this board present, I think FATINA is going to slow down and start executing that Tia play.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Yeah, he's got to slow down. It's either you combo on turn 7 and you don't die next turn, which I don't think is possible, and just like kind of forgo this board. Or you got to play defensively.
I think the Airbound Barrage needs to be used this turn, too.
Yeah.
That's
doesn't even take anything out.
Yeah, that's not even going to help. I don't know if there's... I think he's just done. Yeah.
Yeah, so I say being on the draw gives you an advantage. However, when you Daria that fast, and Remember, guys, saving those angelic snipes.
Yes.
Very specifically is how Daria got powered out that fast instead of playing it on turn 1. It's just these little tiny things that give you those edges, and he just went crazy fast with the Daria, even not even having it in his opening hand.
Yeah. SHADOWSHADET optimized. In both games, he really optimized, right? He played for